The refinery FID, we're talking Feb 2027, so we're expecting within, we're right now in basic engineering. We expect to complete all basic engineering by December. Then we have to work with PAU to get approval for the project, so it'll be another couple of months. So we're looking at February. Then in terms of construction, we're looking at 3-year construction window, so we're expecting first quarter 2030 that will be ready for startup. So that's the plan. Although we are planning some long lead item procurement commitments, might actually happen this year. So we might actually commit, depending upon the confidence of our co-investor, we might actually commit earlier to some of what they call the long lead items. Because we, for example, we're seeing on the market now, if you want to get a gas turbine of 20, 30, 40 megawatt gas turbine, earliest delivery right now is 2029, it's moving into 2030. There's that kind of demand we're seeing globally on that one. So now the difficult questions, right? Just remind me. Yeah, the local content. I'm expecting that we won't do as well, I think, as the upstream and ECOP have done because of the level of technology complexity inside the refinery. There'll be certain sections of the refinery project. For example, the FCC cracker, so we're bringing in an RFCC, that's a fluid catalytic cracker technology, very large. Dangote has one in Nigeria, and that is a very, very complex piece of equipment that is coming in many different parts. We're going to have a challenge to bring it into Uganda because we're using the Tanzania route for that. These are very large sections, 5.7 meter diameter, 200-ton loads. These are huge sections, so we're working on a logistics study. That's also part of what we're doing this year. Is a logistics study, how we're going to move such large equipment from the coast, bearing in mind the limitations even of Dar es Salaam port all the way to us. But so those type of equipment items, it'll be difficult to see a high level of national content in there. But we're focusing, and remember, 60% of the refinery investment is simply procurements. I mean, you're talking equipment and all that kind of stuff. So many things that we don't actually manufacture in Uganda at the moment, but at some point we can. So I see a good potential for local content. As Unoc, we already have a track record that we, like I said, this is all mainly national content, what we've done so far. But I think going into the refinery project, there will be some areas that we'll have to learn over time. It'll take us time to pick up. I think one part of the national conversation we're having is also about how long the crude oil will last relative to the fact that we have a refinery that needs to run over 25 years. So we're still in this phase as Uganda that we still need to find additional crude reserves. So we don't have that yet, and that's an important part of that forecast. Investments in the park right now, we are open. There's an investment window open at the Unoc website. You can express interest. If you go there, I can't remember the name of the actual website itself, but if you go to our website, you will find the link to the. And we are looking at about 1,000 plots. We have 1,000 plots in this park. The cabinet decided in 2024. Cabinet took a decision on what the rates will be. We're not charging for land. We're charging service fees. So we'll be charging a fee to cover the green area, to cover security, to cover waste collection, that kind of thing. And that'll be $1 per square meter per year for the priority industries, all the way up to $1. There'll be $1.25 and $1.50. Those are the rates that were agreed by cabinet, and are competitive, regionally competitive with Thailand, competitive with South Africa, and so on. So we have to think of this park as something that is internationally competitive. The investors can choose here, or they can choose South Africa, or they can choose Thailand, that type of thing. So that's how we have to have rates structured in that way. But we're very open to investment. Our initial focus has been agro, because we want to link agro to this airport. So we've been looking for agro investors. I'm talking about investors that will be produced, that will basically anything that we can produce in Uganda, fish, meat, chicken, etc., and every vegetable and so on, that will be processed in this park and then packaged for export. One of the challenges we have with having an agro zone in in an airport environment is birds. You know, if you remember, every now and again there are bird strikes that happen at airports. So all the agro processing activities have to be in covered. So it will not be open area. You won't be able to have, you know, there won't be a wafula, where they call that market, rufula market, where you smell everything, you even